Are live. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
What is going on? I can't see chat yet because I'm waiting for dlive.
Yeah, I see it.
You see it?
Yeah. It's Ruth, Maria, Amanda, Nicole. Oh, shit. I had to mute the screen.
There we go. Now I'm just waiting for the chat to pop up. There it is.
Thank you, Ruth.
What is going on, guys?
Hello,
How is everybody?
Amanda.
I didn't test my slap button.
That sound works.
Yeah.
Hi, Heather. We're good, Ruth.
Good morning, everybody.
What's up, Andy? Hey, Giggles. Misty Cat.
How is everybody? I've only said that a million times. Sorry, guys. I'm nervous about today.
I passed up overtime just so she wouldn't be nervous.
Yeah, he was nice to me. How is everybody? Jesus Christ, stop. Apparently I'm on a loop.
Hey, Mo.
Hey, Mo. Hey, Misty Cat. Hey, Nicole. Hey, Ruth. Hey, Amanda. Hey, Giggle Pickles. Heather. How are you guys? And Andy. Jesus Christ, I can't stop saying that. What's up? Oi, Maria, how you doing?
Hey, Trouble.
Maybe.
What?
Are Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones here today?
God damn, you're hoping, huh?
If they pull out those pens, come on now. Warn me.
This might be a good day to put on the K2 meter, too.
Yeah, right? Yeah, no shit. Thank you, Nicole, for the ice cream. Missy had been swapped out while Eddie was at work, but her syntax matrix has been scrambled. Yeah, no shit. I gotta get off the loop.
How you doing, Mo?
You guys are the best. You are the best.
Freaky Geek, how you doing?
Hey, Freaky Geek.
Always watching.
Yeah, I know. Telling you. Hey, Patrick.
Hey, Patrick. He done snuck in.
He done did sneak in there.
Andy, Trouble's daughter, she posted, said something earlier that she's getting stronger. And they're talking about waking her up out of her coma on Friday. So that's really good news. Hurry back, Mo.
Hurry back. Yeah, now everybody, if you could please send prayers to Eli. He's been in the hospital with COVID.
Oh, you're welcome, Andy.
And been on a ventilator.
Yeah, we got word that he's had COVID bad enough to the point where he's going to have to learn some motor skills over again.
Yeah, that's what's being said.
Thank you, Ruth.
Oh, what the fart?
I know. That's what I'm saying. So I guess what we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the Men in Black. I'm going to
That's what you're going to do today. What I'm going to do today.
Like the light, did you see the light flicker? Fuck.
And hope to God I don't just fucking disappear. All of a sudden you just see my headphones fall.
I'll be like, oh, hell no, I'm out. So you guys know what to do. If something happens.
Call 911.
Something. Freaking, this is true. This is true. But we're going to go over some stories that have been told about the Men in Black, and then I'll open a panel and whoever wants to come up and talk about it, because I really want to know. I want to know what the fuck the Men in Black are.
They're Men in Black? Oh.
Smart ass. Always a smart ass. Yeah, I know. Now all you got to do is wait for the sound of Blackhawks overhead.
No, this will be the day that somebody will come knocking on a fucking door.
Yeah. Yeah, Andy.
Oh, what the fart?
I know, right? But we're going to dive deep. We're going to dive deep.
Oh, what the fart?
I know. That's what I'm saying. So, yeah, there's a lot going on where I'm telling you. I'm so nervous about this. I don't think they'll come for me because I'm just, I'm an amateur. But you never know. I'm scared I'm going to say that one thing that, like, I'm getting close to what, like, my thoughts. Do you know what I mean? My thoughts, putting my thoughts out there on what Men in Black are and everything. And I'm coming close to, like, what the real truth is. That's when they show up. So if I say anything and then they show up, we know I'm on the right track somewhere.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, dun, dun. So, yeah. What's your thought? Before we start, what's your thought on the Men in Black?
What do you mean? What's my thought?
What's your thoughts? What are they? What do they want? What do they do?
I think they're people that... I actually think they're aliens. I don't think they're human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, honestly, they make people that know too much kind of disappear.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, literally...
Yeah, they are always watching.
And I mean, literally just disappear.
Shadows. That's why I said before, Eddie don't know enough of the truth to be
Oh,
taken.
freaky. You'd be surprised at how much I know.
Yes. Andy says MIB, government agency people dressed in blacks with mirror shades, claim to know all but can never tell you anything, especially the truth.
Well, if they work for the government, of course, they can't tell you the truth.
I don't know.
I don't know, freaky. Have you ever heard of Chad Kalick?
Yes, he has.
Okay.
He's watched the movies with us.
What's up, Dakota?
Hey, Dakota.
How's freaky watch the movies with us? Okay.
I had him running on dlive. Well, don't be showing or telling all he knows then. Hey, what can you say? Thing is, we would never know abuse. They would erase our memories. No, that's the one thing, Heather, that's the one thing. I mean, they erase your memory. If you're talking about the Will Smith version, yes, they can erase them. But they leave those stare tactics right there in your mind. Who's running on dlive? What?
No, I mean, that's only in court. They say that so they can make you think about self-incrimination.
Yeah. Right.
All right.
All right. So should we get started? That's okay. I can't. I'm telling you. Short-term memory is supposed to be easy to disrupt. Well, that gets damaged first a lot of times. Yep, I've seen it. That was actually up here in Alaska, Giggles. At the one in Fairbanks. I for some reason I always forget what that Air Force base is in Fairbanks.
See, I don't know of an Air Force base in Fairbanks. I know there's an Army base there.
Hold on. I'm gonna have the Alaskan government. Oh, I thought
You have breached a secured site.
Yeah, I know. Ellison Air Force Base. I didn't even actually go there. It popped up. You can tell what my browser knows. My browser knows me.
Gotta give the boy points.
But see, the thing of it is very hard of hearing today, so I might tell rubbish.
And if you guys see Missy getting escorted off by Men in Black, I'm going to let you know I will sit here and not interfere.
That's so not right. Thank you, Patrick, for the ice cream.
Hi, Patricia.
Hey, Patricia. How are you? Hey, easily distracted.
What's up, distracted?
I saw that. I love that. That's the joke around the picture that Diary did for me, the one where my face is in the moon and everything, is that we need to add a little Bigfoot and a little UFO. Hey, G-Smoke. How are you?
Yeah, I'm serious, Heather. She left me to die at the whim of a freaking sea lion.
He's like, that's Men in Black top that.
Karma's a bitch.
I tell you see, I feel the love.
Yeah.
But that's one thing about the Men in Black, though. It's not about, well, I mean, I think we get nervous because the way they look. They don't look human. They look freaky. Not like Freaky Geek, but just freaky. Thank you, Nicole, for the lemons. But it's the fear that you feel and that they put on you.
Oh, God, yeah, Giggles.
You know, that it's the fear that goes into it. And like I said, we'll go over some stories that you probably, some of you have heard. Well, yeah, the Men in Black movies are awesome, but they're way different.
And Giggles will tell you, and I'm sure you've been down to the public docks. Remember where I showed you how State Street runs all the way down and it runs out to the docks there?
Yeah.
You can sit out there and see all kinds of activity in the sky because there's no mountains or anything for them to hide. It's just wide open.
Right.
And
But, oh, sorry.
go ahead.
But Andy, the thing of it is, if you look into the Men in Black and you hear somebody really tell a story about a Men in Black, running into a Men in Black or whatnot, government officials, yes, they dress to intimidate, right? That's one thing. Yeah. I mean, I get nervous when police come around. Not that I'm wanted or anything, but I just get nervous. But the Men in Black is a different type of feeling. It's a different type of, and you can tell it when they're telling your stories. You can tell in their stories. You can hear it in their voices. Like, it's a different fear. Yes, government is our friend.
Who said that?
Misty Cat.
She says, Andy, no government is friends.
Oh, I would, okay.
Hey, Circle.
Hey, Paranormal Circle, how are ya?
Yeah, right, Andy? Until they want your vote.
So again, like I said, we'll go over some stories that you might not heard. And then we'll open up the panel, and I want to hear you guys' opinions.
Chocolate mooncake time!
He's getting used to it now.
I've been used to it.
So, excuse me, the men in black are described as wearing black suits and being expressionless, cold, and sinister.
Bastards.
I know. And they only contact two types of people who claim to have seen a UFO and people who research UFOs. When they come in contact with people, they present themselves as a member of a secret organization. Sometimes they even show a white card with the word security on it and refer to each other by number rather than name.
Now, that would really be fucked up if they went by letters.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's where they got that off of.
I get that.
Yeah.
Could you imagine if they actually went by letters instead of numbers?
Right. People claim that the men in black use scare tactics and intimidation to bully people into claiming they've seen the UFOs to remain quiet. So, who has actually seen these elusive men in black? The first report comes from Harold Dahl in 1947. Now, if you haven't heard his story, Dahl was out in his boat in the Puget Sound when he saw 6 donut-shaped objects in the sky. One of the objects actually fell apart or spilled debris, which killed his dog and injured his son. His son got a burn mark on his arm.
Goddamn alien piss is powerful.
When Dahl did take photos to document the debris, he said that he was later fogged over by men in black who told him not to speak of what happened. And with Dahl, let me pull up my notes here. Okay.
They're busting in the door.
As Dahl tells it, and now I've copied some of it. I've left out most of the story because we've heard about how he's seen the UFOs and everything. He was working as a lumber salvager on the waters of South Seattle along the other 2 men, his teenage son and his family dog. Their boat's cruising along. It's a lovely, peaceful summer day. Calm waters, nothing to raise anyone's, hackles or anything, until around 2 p.m. when the boat rounded an east small peninsula called Maury Island. And just then, Dahl's eyes are hit by strange bright light. He peers upward trying to find a source and is shocked to see 6 metallic objects flying in the sky. They're big as about 100 feet in diameter, but with a strange shape, almost like donuts with holes in the middle. Almost like 5 of them are circling around the 6, and they're just hovering up there, high up, maybe like 2,000 feet above his boat. He said planes don't look like this, and they don't act like this either. So Dahl's baffled. He turns to his crew, mouth wide open. As he tells it, they're naturally in shock too. But things just keep getting weirder from there. Suddenly, the shiny glazed donut in the middle begins to descend. Dahl suddenly regains control and flies into motion, trying to mobilize his boat towards the shore. He has no idea what this bizarre object is up to, but he doesn't want to stick around to find out. Thank you, Heather, for the lemons. Unfortunately, he doesn't get too far from the UFO and reaches maybe 500 feet above sea level and then abruptly stops and hovers again. So that's when this thing opens up and debris starts falling. Whatever's falling looks like some sort of super lightweight, shiny metal. And most of the debris sinks into the water, but not all of it.
Thank you, Nicole.
Thank you, Nicole, for the ice cream. Some of it is heading right towards the boat. The men run for cover, but not all will make it. One of the pieces of this bizarre metallic material brushes Dahl's son in the arm, severely burning him. Another strikes an even harder blow to Doll's dog, killing him instantly. And obviously, Doll's terrified. On top of that, he's feeling like he's losing his mind. Like, is this really happening? I mean, you can imagine. He's out there just doing his job and, all this shit's going on. So he whips out his camera, snaps some pictures, and grabs one of the strange metallic bits of debris. First, the photos Doll got in his film developed immediately after the incident and was relieved to find that the pictures did show unusual objects, but it wasn't very clear proof. While you could see some strange shapes in the pictures, it's hard to tell exactly what they were because the film had been damaged. But Doll isn't entirely deterred. There is something there, and he has a piece of metal debris, and the craft dropped in the water. So, but unfortunately for Doll, however, the real deterrent is about to arrive. So in the early mornings, less than 24 hours after the incident, Howard Doll is still shaken and confused, but a little honestly excited about his experience too. That's when he hears a knock at the door, standing in front of his house. Thank you for the follow.
That's funny. Knock at the door and that thing went off.
I know, that kind of made me nervous. So he hears a knock at the door. Standing in front of his house is a nondescriptive man in a black suit, maybe 40 years old. This is not too unusual for a lumbage salvager. Businessmen sometimes arrive at his house early in the morning looking to purchase some lumber. In fact, in comparison to the drama the day before...
What's up, aliens?
Hey, aliens!
Hey, Carbon and Dumb.
Yes, thank you for the follow. In comparison to the drama the day before, this couldn't be more normal. So he opens his mouth to ask what kind of deal they're looking at, but before he can say anything, the visitor starts talking. And what he says astounds Doll. He described yesterday's bizarre sighting blow by blow. The donuts, the descent, the debris that poured out into the water, and Doll's boat. He knows all the details as if he had been there and witnessed it all himself. All this despite the fact that Doll has only told one close friend about the incident so far. Then, allegedly, the visitor concludes, what I have said is proof to you that I know a great deal more about this experience of yours than you will want to believe. Doll listens, struggling to compute what's happening. How does this man know so much, and who is he? Doll doesn't get any answers before he can push through his shock and try to get a word in edgewise. The stranger warns him to never speak of the incident again, or bad things will happen. Doll takes it as a threat against his son. When the suit abruptly ends his monologue and leaves, he's left shaken. Suddenly, he's wondering, was yesterday only the beginning? Is he safe? Exactly what or who are these people he's dealing with? The government, the feds concluded that he probably made it up for a little bit of fame. Wouldn't you go and tell everyone you knew?
Yeah, not just one person.
But, right? Something, because that's,
I think they give you one warning.
You think so?
Yeah. I think that if you don't heed your one warning, then yeah.
Yeah, Misty Cat, to be right, he should have introduced him to his friendly neighborhood axe. So another one that happened that some of us know is about Albert Bender. So Dolls happened in the 40s. This happens in the 60s. He was the founder of Max Steiner Music Society, a respected international music group. It It had like the heavyweights of the likes of John Wayne and Fred Astaire amongst its members. So at first, he was a UFO researcher and ufologist. And in that capacity, he founded another organization, the International Flying Saucer Bureau. The Bureau collected information on UFO sightings and then published them in a magazine called Space Review. So in 1952, the Bureau and its magazine launched and were going surprisingly well. During their first few months, Bender was receiving tons of enthusiastic reports from ufologists and curious citizens who were coming out of the woodwork with their sightings in the wake of Harold Dahl. But all that changed on the night of July 30th, when, according to Bender himself, he received a call. The line was silent, but like an eerily silent. Bender felt something on the other end, although he couldn't say what it was that he stood, that there was a phone waiting for someone to speak. That strange, eerie feeling got increasingly tense. So intense that it felt physical. So he's there on the phone waiting for somebody to speak, and he's getting scareder by the minute. Like, have nothing to get to. Thank you, Preeti. You're the best. Like, he's not, has nothing to be freaked out about, but yet that intense feeling sets in.
Dead silence.
Yeah. Suddenly, his head exploded in pain as some kind of dangerous vibrations has raced through the power lines and right to his brain. Immediately, Bender hung up the phone. He'd never had a headache like this. He felt like he might collapse, but he made it to bed. And the strange experiences retreated into the past. That is, until November. This time, he was on the movie theater. Eyes on the screen, but when out the corner of his eyes, he saw something flicker. A human-like form seemed to materialize out of nowhere in a nearby seat. This form was well-dressed in dark clothes. Bender, as a ufologist, couldn't help but think of the Men in Black. But what Bender really noticed was its eyes. They seemed to glow like flashlights. He's stunned. He can't help but stare. But then that same dizziness he experienced on the phone struck again. He closed his eyes for a moment to fight the feeling nauseous. And when he opens them, the strange shadowy figure has vanished. Bender is reeling from this encounter, but doesn't have time to restabilize and calm down. He keeps having similar sightings. For months, these strange, nauseous-inducing men start showing up everywhere he goes. Day and night. Home, the sidewalk, grocery stores, and he keeps smelling brimstone in his office.
Welcome back, Andy.
Welcome back, Andy. The migraines that accompany these encounters start getting worse, and his agonizing state of affairs continues until midnight 1953, when the chaos culminated with a visit from 3 mysterious men in black suits in his house. Bender has just brushed his teeth. He's puttering around in his room, getting ready for bed, pleased that he gotten through the day without any strange occurrences, and hopefully he'll have a nice, peaceful sleep. But no. As it turns out, the day was not quite over yet. A prickly feeling started to tingle at the base of his neck. His eyes started to water. Blue lights are suddenly swirling around his room. He's dizzy, his eyes are throbbing, and he throws himself into a bed and feels his body turn icy cold. Then abruptly, the room goes dark. 3 shadowy figures in black clothing appear, but they're not just standing there. They're floating several feet off the ground. And while their faces are shaded by hats, one feature stands out. Their eyes illuminated like flashlights in the dark. Those eyes feel like they're boring holes right into Bender's soul. The pain behind his eyes intensifies, and then he realizes they're talking to him in his mind, and they're telling him that he had to stop his UFO research immediately. He was getting too close to their secrets. it would be dangerous to continue. Very dangerous indeed. And then they disappeared.
What the fart?
I know. Bender was left sweaty, exhausted, and terrified, but also a bit excited because he was obviously on the verge of a major breakthrough with his research. If aliens themselves dressed as men in black, though they needed to be shut down his work to keep their secrets safe, but he couldn't tell his fellow ufologist the details of the visitation or the reason for it. He suspected the men in black probably wouldn't like that. So he decided to do what the aliens told him, at least on the surface, and shut down his UFO publication with ominous note readings. With an ominous note reading. We would like to print the full story in Space Review, but of the nature of the information, we're sorry that we have been advised in the negative. We advise those engaged in software work to please be very cautious. Still, Bender wasn't going to give up on his passion completely. In the wake of his tantalizing final note in Space Review, the abridged version of the Men in Black story slowly made its way from friend to friend in the ufology community. These researchers were intrigued. Bender's Men in Black were obviously nothing like dolls, but if he was to believe and he was well respected in the community, the Men in Black couldn't just be some kind of secret government bureau. They were something straight up not from this planet. Although, as ufologists pointed out, it's possible that the feds were working with the aliens to hide extraterrestrial activity from Americans, that some Men in Black might be human and others alien. Of course, some skeptics were totally ready to hop on the board with the idea of alien Men in Black. So like that, I mean, they can fuck with you. That's what's scary. I think that's what's scary. And I mean, a lot of it too is, like, if you guys go check Craig Powell, and when he talks about his encounter with Men in Black, that shit's scary. Like, you can tell. Even though it's not a video, it's a voice recording because he's talking to Chad. Like, you can tell he's very scared about it. But
Hey, Nubs. Hey, Andy.
Hey, Nubs, that's okay, huh?
Andy says just because they're alien don't mean they don't work for the government. I think you got that backwards, Andy.
Yeah, I think the government works for them.
The government works for the aliens.
Speculations. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. All I know is when I hear stories of this, when I hear actual people tell stories about Men in Black, I feel their fear. One base, a black sedan was parked in different places. We could not find out who or how they got on the base. Right? Tell him, Ed. I mean, it really is. It's freaky.
Not you, Freaky Geek.
Not Freaky Geek. So, but whatever the skeptics had to say, for next 2 decades, more and more Men in Black stories came out. Many of them with aliens seeming with black suit agents. Then in September 1976, Dr. Hopkins had a visitation of the lifetime. It was a quiet fall evening. Dr. Hopkins was a family physician and ufologist. He was puttering around the house in Old Orchard, Maine, doing some reading on recent UFO sightings and thinking about dinner. And just then the phone rings. Hopkins picks it up. He's probably expecting a frantic call from one of his patients about an injury or something, or maybe an invitation to a late session barbecue, but it's neither. Hopkins listens with a surprise as an unfamiliar voice launches into an introduction. He says he's a fellow ufologist like Hopkins, affiliated with the New York-based UFO organization, and he has more important things to discuss with the good doctor. Urgent UFO research to discuss, and it has to be tonight. Excuse me. Hopkins is a bit confused, but certainly intrigued. So he responds politely. The researcher is welcome to come over for a chat. His dinner plans can wait. With that, the call ends and Hopkins goes outside and turns on the porch light for his guest. But when he does, he's treated to a strange sight. The caller is already coming up the front steps. It's impossible that he'd gotten there so fast. He could barely have made it that quickly if he had been next door.
What year is this?
This is 1976, I believe.
I was going to say your cell phone.
Yeah, no. As the caller steps out into the porch, Hopkins doesn't see a regular Joe ufologist.
Hurry back, Amanda.
Hurry back. He's sure he's wearing a fairly normal black suit, a nice, well-fitting one with a crisp white shirt. But his face is entirely something else. There's no hair on it, first of all. I mean, not the head, but also no eyebrows, no eyelashes, and the skin, it's smooth, almost like plastic. And then there's the color. His skin is just too pale. The only dash of pigment is a pair almost comically bright red lips. Hopkins stands still. He just doesn't know who or what this is, but he isn't sure of one thing. It isn't human. Hopkins is terrified, but the figure is getting closer. In the panic of the moment, he does something that sounds bananas. He invites this humanoid inside, where he sits down across from it. In his quiet little living room, in a chilling, monotone, robotic voice, the strange being launches into a discussion of Hopkins's research into the UFOs, particularly the recent sightings. He is currently looking into Hopkins in some kind of terrified, disoriented, there's some fucked up.
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, no, right. And that's about it, too. He's currently looking into Hopkins in some kind of terrified, disoriented. But he responds honestly. He is completely lost. He has no idea how his visitor knows so much about his ufology work. But he's going to go along with it. After all, doing just whatever it says. It seems like his best way for getting through whatever this experience is. Meanwhile, the creature isn't giving away any terms of whether it's here to do Hopkins harm. It sits oddly, almost impossibly still as to question him. So when the creature tells Hopkins to take out a penny and put on the table and watch it, he does.
He did.
This ride is about to get even more wackier. Because this is how Hopkins describes what happens next. Quote, the penny starts to develop a silver color instead of copper. And then the silver becomes bluish. And the penny was getting quite fuzzy, out of focus, blurred looking. And then it was simply gone. It slowly dematerialized, and quote, that was enough to throw Hopkins into a total frenzy. But luckily, the strange men in black left the house soon after the ominous warning. Hopkins was to destroy all his UFO research immediately. Now Hopkins has that his medical practice is going well as his ufology research, but the ufology was his passion. The thing that he spent all of his free time doing, day, night, weekends, holidays, whatever, it means a lot that what he did, what the man in black said. He was so terrified that he destroyed his research and it never saw the light of day. After that, he never heard from the men in black again.
Well, because he did what he was told.
Right.
Well, then again, I'd probably do the same goddamn thing.
And that's what I want to figure out, Patrick. I want to know. That's because Patrick said there are two beliefs. The MIBs, they work for the government, or they're just aliens trying to stop people from reporting UFO sightings. And that's what I want to figure out. That's what I can't grasp my head around. And that's why I wanted to have this in-depth, deep discussion with you guys, you know, after we go over some of these stories. You know, hey, Ryan Grace, how are you? Are you all right over there?
Yeah, just spilled someone fucking cleaning it up.
Make sure, you know, you didn't get zapped or anything. But yeah, I want to know what you guys think, you know. You never heard from again, or never remembers encounters because of the flashy pen light. Mind wipe. Yeah, that's true.
What's up, Grace?
But now, don't get me wrong. I mean, if you're into ufology, you know who Richard Doty is, or Doty. He's a retired Air Force Special Investigations Officer. Okay, and this is the shit that they did back when he was in the service. Okay, he was active in the 70s and 80s, and he has a mind-blending story to tell about a government conspiracy. Right? This is how he met Benowitz. Benowitz was big in the UFO community, bigger than Bender. So you're going to find out how the government handled shit rather than the MIB. Okay? MIB goes in there and says, you better stop your shit or we're wiping you clean off the earth. I mean, they don't threaten it, but you feel that, right? So let's get a look at what the government does in this. Okay? So Air Force Officer Richard Doty story begins in 1979 with a successful electronics entrepreneur named Paul Benowitz. Benowitz was big in the UFO community, bigger than Bender, but he was also a successful businessman and scientist. His company, Thunder Scientific, worked with both NASA and the United States Air Force, which was convenient because Benowitz lived just outside of Albuquerque, New Mexico, right near the Kirtland Air Force Base. But Benowitz didn't just appreciate his house because it was convenient for his line of work. He's up in the hills, he has great views, and not just of the Air Force Base, but of the Menzio mountain range beyond it, too. So you can imagine, you know, he's got a balcony out there, beautiful landscape.
Probably got fucking a telescope.
Right, yeah. Naturally, he spends plenty of time on his rooftop deck, where that's probably where we'd spend all our time. Honestly, that's, if we lived in a house like that and I'd be outside all the time. One quiet evening in August of 1979, when he sees something odd interrupting his view. Two lights were shooting up from the ground. They hovered for a moment, then they'd fly through the air around the mountain and disappear. Now, the lights out in the desert always stand out. It's too stark of a landscape for them not to.
Chocolate mooncake time!
But what really catches Benowitz is his attention is how fast the lights are moving. That can't be aircraft, or at least not any aircraft he's ever heard of anyway. And he knows everything on the market. Benowitz also knows that the desert has a strange way of playing tricks on your eyes. Mirages. So maybe he's just tired. Their lights weren't as extraordinary as they appeared, or so he tells himself, until he sees them again the next night. This can't be a mirage. Not the same one twice. So the scientist that he is, Benowitz, decides to investigate by building a special radio antenna, which it can use to pick up any unusual chatter on the airways between him and the lights. Most likely he had already built. But so the investigation proves to be a success, a startling success. The antenna picks up a bizarre noises. They're unlike anything he's ever heard. So he's thrilled, but he also is no closer to understanding either the radio chatter or the mysterious lights. Everything in some kind of code, and he has no idea what it means. As someone who's curious about UFOs, he's starting to get suspicious and making him nervous. So, like a good patriot and government contractor, what's he do? He does the logical thing and he goes to the people who might be able to unravel the mystery. And conveniently, they're right across the street. The United States Air Force. The Air Force seems interested in Benoit's findings, which is where Richard Doty comes into play. He's the guy the Air Force connects Benoit with, and he immediately asks for the copies of all of Benoit's findings after combing through them. Doty stays interested. There's some intriguing information in these files, so he gets to go ahead from his superiors to start working with Benoit's. And then he asks to come visit Benoit's at his home. First, they do a tour of Benoit's house, his surveillance operation. Doty scribbles his notes as he walks through the sophisticated setup. Now, mind you, remember, Doty works for the Air Force, okay? He's impressed as he tells Benoit's this is no amateur night, Benoit's is known. And he's flattered and offers Doty a seat. As the tour comes to a close, Doty responds with a bit of casual banter, some questions about the equipment and findings, and then the Air Force officer drops a bombshell on the eager host. The feds agree with Benoit's. His private suspicions, but the strange findings aren't of this world. They're extraterrestrial. From there, the Air Force, primarily through Doty, just continues to encourage Benoit's to interpretations of every strange sighting or radio signal he picks up in the desert, telling him they agree it has to be a result of alien activity. They even offer to fund, and I want you to listen to this, okay, because this will remind you of something. They even offer to fund his UFO research with the condition that the interest of national security. So he keeps everything he finds strictly confidential over time. With this financial aid and the verbal encouragement, his conclusions get wilder and wilder. His surveillance equipment is constantly spitting out what seems mysterious, alarming readings of radio signals, and he's picking this up from the desert. In fact, a few years into his readings have convinced the aliens are planning to invade Earth. The Air Force keeps peeking in on his equipment to check that it's working correctly. They explain and they tell him that he's onto something important. But they don't seem to understand the urgency of the situation. The invasion is imminent. He feels alone. His anxiety spikes. He's monitoring his equipment constantly, and his mental health deteriorates further. Finally, around 1985, Doty sees how bad things are getting and recommends that Benoit take a step back from his research. The Air Force withdraw their financial support from his investigation, but it's too late at this point to undo the damage. In 1988, Benoit, his family, is forced to check him into a psychiatric hospital. That's where the story seemed to end in 2012, right?
Nope.
No. Doty, perhaps racked with guilt, comes forward and admits the truth. According to Doty, when the Air Force told Benoit he was picking up on alien activity out of the desert, they were lying. They knew exactly what he was picking up on, but they couldn't tell him that it really was a top secret military development project. So they decided to take a different approach to the problem of his surveillance. They decided to use him. After all, if he was picking up on this project, then the Soviets might be too. So they let him keep monitoring their activity. It served as a kind of test on how good their security was. Then they tapped into his fascination with the UFOs and made sure he didn't understand what he was picking up by convincing him it was alien. They used all kinds of methods for this, everything from psychological manipulation to tampering with his equipment. Unfortunately, this domestic psychological warfare had dire consequences for Benowitz, his mental health even more. Unfortunately, according to Doty, it wasn't an isolated experiment. Doty's entire job consisted of infiltrating UFO communities. There he'd offer a carrot, say information, or mostly what was really misinformation, and in return for the so-called information, ufologists would pass Doty in the Air Force. Their own research, and Doty knows for a fact he wasn't the only one doing this kind of work. He, like Benowitz, was a piece of a much larger puzzle.
Now, where these other people are close to him when he's saying that he wasn't the only one, interested in
There
this?
was other, because he was a misinformation person.
It makes sense. But again, I disagree. The government don't control the aliens. I think the aliens control the government.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's what the government does. So I don't believe the MIB. I want to know who contacted who first.
Hurry back, Andy.
Do you know what I mean?
What do you mean?
And then there's
who contacted who first?
The aliens or the government. Like, did the aliens come
alien
down,
contacted the government first.
or did they, like, the government, like, I don't know.
No, I think the aliens made first contact.
Then there's another story where this one guy, he's just reading a book on UFO stuff in a library. And MIB basically came down and was like, oh, you like UFOs, huh? You know what I mean?
Nope.
Stop looking. I know, right? Nope. I don't know how this book got here.
UFO, what the hell's that?
Yeah. What? So, I mean, I don't know. I want to know. I guess I just want to know. What do you guys think is going on? What do you think the MIB is there for?
Control everything.
I know they are always watching. I'll put the thing in chat.
I think it's just higher government officials. Now, I don't think everybody in the government, I don't think everybody knows of them. Like, how long did you have the Majestic 13?
Majestic 12.
Or the Majestic 12, and nobody knew about them?
But do you think they're their own source?
I mean,
Like, are they like up living in ships, or do you think they're down here? I don't think.
I think they're crossed. I think they're in both.
Right.
Like, I think there's so many of them down here, and for so much time, and then you switch them out.
Carbon. I'm going to call you Carb. Is that okay? Hopefully that's okay. It says interdimensional energy. That's good possibility.
And
I guess what it comes down to is when it comes to aliens and cryptids and paranormal, like, I get an internal, like, sensation of what it is that I'm looking at or what I am. Do you know what I mean? And with MIB, I can't, and it frustrates me. I get a good read on everything else. It might not be the right read, but at least I can process it. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
But with the MIB, I don't think they stay here. Hey, nubs.
Hey.
Holy hell, that scared the hell out of me.
That's pretty loud.
MIB are coming. What's up?
How's everybody doing?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
Is there an echo anywhere, guys? Let me know.
You got a slight delay. It's not really an echo. It's just off timing.
Well, I just want to make sure because he's coming through the speakers and I don't have the headphones on. So I want to make sure that nobody's getting
So I can hear him through the headphone. Then I can hear him through the speaker, but it's not feeding back into the microphone.
Okay, cool beaners. What's up?
Hi, Andy. Nothing much. Just excited about this because this is interesting.
Right. So what do you think they are?
I personally think that MIB is aliens
What's up, Dwayne?
try to stop people from working on aliens and cases and UFO sightings and all of that. That's what I think. And I think that they're a type of alien that the government controls somehow.
Nope. And I will always agree to disagree with you on that. The government does not control the aliens. The aliens control our government.
I think the men in black do. Like they, gotta give the boy points. I believe that at least these type, because I think a lot of it that weirds me out is like they've been around since the 40s and 50s and shit like that. They're still not like acting like us. Like I think they're in a point to where they don't care if people like go ahead, say we're MIB. I don't give a shit. Do you know what I mean? They don't like try to hide it. Or I don't think that I just think they don't care because they can do whatever they want. So I don't think they're controlled by anybody but themselves.
Yeah. I mean, look at that one story you did, or whether did you? Yeah, how the aliens they came down and they made a deal, and they showed up with supplies, and in a blink of an eye, he distracted the guy, and boom, everything's gone out of the back of the truck, and
welcome back, Mo.
And all of a sudden, there was money, and it was just weird.
Yeah. Only a bit I don't get is why aliens ever come here to a planet where a dominant species can't even live in harmony with itself. Maybe their pet science project.
I can see that.
I can understand that.
Here's the other part, and maybe they just bringing the human herd to maturity prior to harvest. See, when it cut off down there, it was too long. So.
Oh, I see it. Okay, I didn't see the second part of it.
We must secure an exit for the big chuggers and future for rabbit children.
Just let it go.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to read like, well, okay.
It took me a hot minute, and it was just like, oh, okay.
Yeah. The machine. You know, I guess what not irks me, but makes me is like I said, I just can't get a read on them, so I don't know. Like,
but see, you want to talk about the Men in Black and the aliens? Who are the Men in Black protecting? Are they protecting the government? Or are they protecting aliens?
Aliens.
I know that's what
that's a good. Thinking about it, that is a good question because.
I mean, because honestly, my thought in my own mind, I don't think aliens mind that we know they're here.
No.
But the government doesn't want us to know as much as they do, because if we know what they know, then they lose control of the whole thing.
If you go by the story of Eisenhower meeting with them, they wanted us to live with free power and not having to work or anything like that. But the government wouldn't allow that because they got to make their buck. So,
Easily distracted. Close Encounters was really
The end of
good.
the guy when all the missing people just all of a sudden started coming out. That shit. That was almost a tearjerker.
Yeah. Patrick says they believe they're protecting the aliens.
like
They
a
could
certain
be-
race of alien.
They
Like,
could
I
be protecting both of them. The aliens and the
Well,
government.
there are two now. There are different kinds of men in black, so it could be possible.
All I know is like if you go and you listen to Craig's
Well, that's true, Andy.
Craig's statement of how the men in black are with him, like when they came to his house, he was in a trance-like state. He couldn't move, he couldn't speak. They were talking to him, basically threatening to stop going on with his UFO research, like most of the stories say. And that when he goes, I could hear what they were saying and I could comprehend what they were saying. And don't quote me on this because I'm not saying it verbatim, but he's like, but all the time I'm also thinking, why can't I freaking move? Why can't I talk?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I heard him say stuff about my children, what schools they went to. I mean, they were threatening shit. But he's like, what do I do? And their lives have been screwed up since then.
I mean, they could also be here to protect us from the government.
No, I don't think so because when they try to get you to shut up, they give you one warning, and if you don't follow that warning, you somehow disappear. Or
Yeah,
somebody in your family does. So that to me ain't protecting us.
Yeah.
I mean, what's all right, Heather, hurry back. What's Chad's partner's name? His buddy in crime.
Craig, that's the one I was just talking about.
Okay, now remember when he did that one where he had moved?
Yeah.
And
yeah, he was so scared of this that he moved his family to another house.
But even still, it never stopped. That person that was in the back of their yard, by like that tree or whatever, and you can hear him. He tells his son, go in and get your machete. Get in the house. This is how scared this guy was.
I mean, their whole life has been fucked up over this.
Hey, Ryan.
Chad outside of his apartment building watching his dog. Gunshots fired. Just missing him.
So do you think, extraterrestrial government, do you think that...
Could I have finished
that?
I'm
sorry. Go ahead. You know how I am with my thoughts.
There was cars that were going by, so nobody knows who was getting shot at. But by the time the cops could get there, where they found this person at was 1.5 miles away on the beach, shot himself in the head. Figure that one out.
Yeah, I mean, just for doing a story.
They're protecting both aliens and humans, but also leave.
Chungus.
I don't fucking know. Just ignore it. It's no big deal.
No, I'm saying that he must be, in contact with the aliens, which is kind of, but I'm just trying to figure out who Chungus is. Hey, Whisper.
Like I said, with extraterrestrial government, okay, so do you think that, what the hell is it called? I forgot what it's called. The intergalactic, federation, basically. Do you think, Ryan, that's what they're from? Because as far as I know, what I've read about, the intergalactical federation, I don't know if that's what it's called, I can't remember, but, is they're trying to help us basically move up dimensions.
No, Andy, he actually shot himself with a pistol. Shot himself in the head with a pistol, but was only carrying a shotgun. I mean, you stop and think about it. All right, think about Chad in his apartment building. Somehow his security to his apartment
freaky
gets hacked, and this person is standing right outside of his apartment door, showing video of where he lives and shit. And by the time Chad can open the door and get out, there was nobody there.
Yes, the Council of Five. Thank you, Murder Aliens. Hi, John. How you doing?
I can see that, Ryan.
How you
I
doing,
really
John?
can.
How you doing, maybe? And maybe is cute Chris.
All right, Ruthie.
Take
Have a
care,
good
Ruth.
Have a good day, Ruth. But yeah, so much has happened to Chad and his partner that it's I don't understand. And here's okay, tell me this ain't a coincidence. He had a meeting set up with somebody in Australia, but before he could go, COVID hit.
Right.
And it stopped his trip.
I don't know if
It's not a coincidence.
I know. Yes, it is a quinkydink. But yeah, I mean, I just want to know. Hey, maybe Q Chris, how are you? Welcome.
That's why I said hi, maybe.
Yeah, I was confused. Which we know that's not hard to do. But what was that? Nope.
Oh, motion turtles.
Oh, turtles. But seriously, I mean, I just, God, like it's one of those things where you think you figured it out, but then
really
something comes in from left field.
I don't think there's a wrong answer to it, though.
Right.
I mean, there's many theories, hypotheses, stories. Is there really proof? Because you're told to destroy it.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, is it a certain branch of extraterrestrials? Is it a certain that it's trying to protect? Because there's some that obviously, if they're showing up in our skies, they want us to be seen. I'm sorry, that's just how I feel. If they're showing themselves to us in the skies, those people or those extraterrestrials, whatever you want to call them, want us to know that they're there.
But are they trying to threaten us? Or are they trying to give us peace of mind?
I don't know.
Oh, Dwayne.
I don't know about that, Dwayne. To be honest with you, unless it was called something else.
Yeah, it might have been something else.
And that because what you said up way back when kind of like resonated with me.
Zeta
Reticuli. You think they're Zeta Reticuli? Oh, you're Zeta Reticuli. Zeta Reticuli, that's the gray aliens, correct? Reticulum.
How far aliens allegedly traveled to get here? Unless they, from the moon, we got zero chance of being a possible threat to them.
Misty, I don't think aliens are bad.
There are some out there. If you really study and read them and watch, and there's some that would rather see us dead.
Yeah.
See, well, the horror. If you really go back and look, there's stories that, or if you believe in some of the channelers that supposedly channel aliens, I mean, you have to go back and watch everything and like take it all in and come to your own conclusion. Basically,
sorry, easily distracted. It's got me thinking. If you have a sixth sense, could that be alien stem cells in some?
Well, I believe so. I mean, we have a lot of junk DNA that isn't being used right now, and somewhere it's got to be used somehow. You know, and that's just my take.
I see that, Andy and Ryan. I see that.
But if you think about it, I mean, you go back and you really look at some of the stuff. Like, apparently, 2012 is when we got put back on the map, basically. We were hid for a long time. Some aliens knew that we were here on Earth, but others did not. But again, You have to go back and come to your own conclusion. You know, you have to research and come to your own conclusion. I've done a lot of research. Yeah, no, I have never discussed that, Chris. But it's wild. I know exactly what you're talking about.
The Illuminati card game.
Yeah, you've never heard of that?
Nah, I've heard of the Illuminati, but not the card game.
Oh, it's wild. It'll mess with you. We'll have to talk about that one day.
Yeah, you play with dollar bills.
I got a Cash App with $21 on it. Let's go.
Oh, yeah, we'll talk about the cards. I figured you guys knew about it. See, that's what I always think, is you guys know, you've researched and done everything.
I don't even know about it. And I've been with you 10 years.
Oh, you've heard me talk about it.
Probably didn't care.
Yeah, exactly. You just didn't care. There's a lot of those days.
No.
This is one day. No, we're talking about the Men in Black today, Freaky Geek.
2012. Was that I think that is when the rover went to Mars.
2012 is when we were all supposed to die because the Mayan calendar.
Oh, yeah. That was.
Well, that's like a Y2K. We were supposed to lose all freaking electrical
That's
around
because
the
they didn't
world.
know. Yeah.
But
oh, go ahead.
and now you got the Hubble. The Hubble's fixing to take crap.
Well, the Hubble wasn't supposed to be going this long.
Yeah, they were supposed to actually died out like 10 years ago.
Oh, Freaky Geek, because you got to put in a certain way. You got to know your way around the internet.
You got to manipulate the science.
No, you just got to search different things together. I sit there and I say it out loud. Eddie's heard me many times trying to search. Let me try. Blah, 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 blah.
Turn back, Nicole.
It is hard to find some stuff. Like, you can't just put it in Men in Black. If you're looking for that, you have to think of what you're going to type in. And
Right. Yeah, that's what I do. I sit there. That's why I have so many tabs half the time.
So how do we still have a calendar going if the Mayan calendar ended?
yeah, Ryan, I've actually heard that we misread it and we were off by a few years.
Yeah, that's why we were supposed to die last year. Because we misread the calendar. So it was supposed to be 2020 that we were supposed to die. I've heard it all.
Well, did you see what Andy said? The Mayan calendar only ever said that the sun was coming to the end of an age.
Yep.
It was wrongly interpreted as all. Turns out we are entering the age of
Aquarius. Yes, exactly. And that's why
Welcome back,
everybody's
Heather.
welcome back, Heather. That's why everybody is supposed to be ascending. Not ascending like God's taken us, but ascending into vibrating up and awakening. Hence why I think all the chaotic energies in the world.
Yay!
Yay!
Ryan, that is true. Yeah.
Well, yeah, that is true. You're right. Both of you are right. Yes. But I think we are supposed to, you're welcome, Heather. That's why different things are awakening in us. And more people are seeing stuff and more people are, whether it be paranormal, cryptid, or alien. Although there's one thing on here that I did want to say because I got to thinking about you, Eddie.
Oh. This is going to be a fucking live from hell.
The hairy Bigfoot.
Say what, Nubs?
The hairy Bigfoot.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I got to find out one of these stories.
Actually, aliens, their reasoning for no more moon landings and everything else was the money. Welcome back, Nicole.
Well, Ryan, I can see that too.
Well, that's why our vibration, and every day that passes, our vibration happens to increase a little bit more. But it's increasing. Yeah, it's increasing at such a slow rate that you can't even tell.
Okay, where it says here, like one of these stories where he was given a lecture and telling about his story about I can't say his last name, but he's given a lecture about his encounter with the Men in Black. How he's the one that I told you was reading a book and just a UFO book, and Men in Black came up to him. But at the end of it, he said, Zuckerman, a specialist in internal medicine, and thought Reujewitz was serious. I have a friend who knows a fellow who investigating reports that men from space are coming to Earth and taking biopsy of people's calf muscles. What did I think about? What's on your calf muscles?
Oh, that fucking spot came out of nowhere too.
I wanted to make sure I put that in there because Eddie's got two on both of his calf muscles in the same spot.
Almost
identical. Like he laid on a cigarette, a burning cigarette.
Hmm.
And we don't know where the hell they came from. He's had them for a while. You've had them for a while now.
For a long while now.
And
no, it's not tendons.
thank you for the ice cream, Nicole.
Actually, where the two spots are like little divots now.
Yeah. It's so weird.
What the fuck?
I know, Heather.
And the worst part is though is when they started itching, it started bleeding, and then they over.
Yeah.
And then they healed, and that's what it looked like. It was like, what the fuck?
It's very weird. Yeah, it looks like you took a lit cigarette and put it between his legs and closed his legs.
Yep.
And they're on his calf muscles. So when I wrote that, when I read that, I was just like, what?
but they're actually almost perfectly round.
Yeah. It's weird. Whatever scratched him that night, whatever did that to him, I'm telling you, they like his legs. He has sexy legs.
I thought Nubs was going. It was him moving.
Yeah, that was just me moving with my messed up bedpost.
Hurry back, freaky. Humans can only do low Earth orbit. Like,
Right. ISS.
Is as far as it gets for Earthlings.
Right. Yeah,
I don't know. We going past the ISS.
No, we haven't.
Really? Okay.
Did anybody get to see the asteroid yesterday?
Was it yesterday?
Yeah. I want to know that too. But okay, so if I have a question for you guys. If the MIB came to your house and said, drop what you're doing and stop researching anything you're working on, whether it be paranormal, cryptid, UFO, would you stop? Do you think they would scare you enough to stop?
It depends on what I was working on.
And I was like, huh?
Depending on what they say to me.
Yeah.
Right, you're right. The International Space Station, but they're building onto it every day.
Well, that's true.
Well, I know because
They're trying to make a Jacob's Ladder?
Because I'm reading it. I Googled it.
Anyone comes to my house and tells me to stop what I'm doing, they're getting told F off and mind your business.
Moon landings with Hollywood. Nobody has been to the moon, only bots. I don't buy that either. I do believe they have been on the moon, and it has been proven that a flag can move with no gravity. Scientists have proved that.
They have to offer me a job then. Easily distracted, like, yes. I'm stopping. I don't know.
I look at them and say, look, bitch, I'm working on jigsaw puzzles.
I don't know. Some encounters that I've seen, looking at them, I get creeped out. You know, we've all seen this photo. Well, maybe you haven't, but I have. But most likely, most of you have seen this, where they come into the hotel. Let me go ahead and share.
Well, I'm sorry, it was a downer, Amanda. Welcome back.
I forgot how to share. Oh, there we go.
You hit the share
Shut up.
button. I think I remember this.
Yeah.
Oops. Like, I don't know. You can even. They don't walk like us. They don't look like us.
Like they're wearing shoulder pads.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just. You think they would learn to be more like us? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Well,
The Blues Brothers, I know, right?
I can understand the strike. If you got kids and family and stuff like that, I can understand why you're going to fucking say no. Oh,
Right,
yes,
yeah.
I'm quitting.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
But like I said, it's really going to depend on what I'm studying. Whether you find that threatening or it scares you that I'm studying it, no, I ain't quitting.
Okay, would you might tell them, yeah, you're quitting, but would you like on the side kind
No,
of?
because if you believe in the MIB and they tell you to quit, if you don't quit, they threaten your life or your somebody in your family's life.
Right.
Would you really try to take that chance?
Andy Joan Collins says, getting back from a night out on you're something else, Andy. But yeah, that's true. They do threaten your kids and family and that.
Patrick says they said they had big black eyes.
Yeah, some of them do. That's why they wear the shades.
Amanda says that pic looked like they overstarched and forgot to remove the coat hanger.
And yeah, right. And that's the thing too, is like they do it so nonchalantly. Do you know what I mean? Like take for instance, if you believe the Dan Aykroyd story, you know, he was working on UFOs and they were getting everything set up. He goes out to have a cigarette and take a phone call.
Oh, that car.
The car pulls up, gives him a dirty look, and then, you know, he looked away and looked back and he was gone.
Time it was parked behind him, remember? A few cars back.
Right.
And then
you know, he goes back inside and his series is canceled. So it's almost like, hey, we know who you are. We know what you're doing. We're going to get out of the car, give you a dirty look, and then you're going to find out that your shit's canceled. You know?
Yeah, I don't think that's what they mean by disappearing giggles. And he says
right.
inflatable soldiers to look bigger and tougher, stick a pin in the buggers and watch them wilt into insignificance.
You guys joke about it. That's okay. Go ahead and joke about it, because I'm not. I don't fucking care.
I believe it's real, but it's just, I don't know.
Look, when I walk to the store today and I see a black or white vehicle following me,
you're gonna look differently. I'm telling you.
because people say that they drive all white, and some people say they drive all black. So you never.
All I've ever heard is all black cars.
I've heard.
Well, I've heard white too.
Yeah, I've heard. It's just an out of the ordinary, like white too. It's not like a.
And it's probably like an eggshell white.
Yeah, like it's official. Do you know what I mean?
I could see Nubs walking to the store in a car pulling up saying, "Hey, you know Shadows of the Moon?"
No.
Who's that? Who that?
Nope. Hey,
I don't snitch.
That was a clone.
I do have a twin brother, okay? Like he has 7 fingers too and a beard just like me. Trust me, they will regret taking my kids.
But that's true, Patrick. They still wear the hat. It's like they don't change, like they don't care. You know what I mean?
Windows of a car that don't normally have dark tinted windows. Well, no, I mean these cars normally do, and they don't look. Hey, Jim.
Hey, Jim.
They don't look out of place. But you see these cars, and you see a lot of people get tickets because their windows are too tinted.
Yeah, but these cars never will
You can't fucking see in the car.
Yeah. It's like, how come you didn't get busted? Oh, that's
like
right, because
Patrick
you're
said.
official.
Like Patrick says, they just dematerialize.
Right.
Poof, gone.
Poof. But yeah, I mean, I'm telling you right now, there's just something about them that freak me out. Like looking at pictures of them, even though there's not really a good picture except that one. Well, that's not even a good picture, but they just creep me out. They creep me out. Like looking at the picture, I feel that anxiety start setting in, and I have no reason to. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think with the biggest thing about Men in Black is, even though we might have not seen one, encountered one, or anything, it's the stories that you hear of people.
Right, I get that. I understand that. But with me, it's different because I
got anxiety anyways.
Yeah, but I hear all different sorts of stories. Like,
yeah, ever heard of a nice one?
The only other thing that scares me that I've heard or read about is the Anunnaki, and I have no reason to fear them. I was not, you know what I mean?
I think you do, because they were what, gods?
No, they were aliens.
Okay, but they were higher up.
Yeah.
So,
they're the ones
in their creation time, they were probably gods.
Right. But I mean, I don't know, for some reason, like I never heard of the Anunnaki before, but yet that name like rang, before my whole UFO and alien stuff and looking into history and all that. I never knew who the Anunnaki were but yet their name like freaked me out. And I have no reason for that.
Well, you freak out from the unknown.
Yeah, but
ain't no buts.
I don't know. It's hard to explain.
So anybody else, and besides Patrick, yes, Patrick, I know you have.
What's that? Oh, never seen them up close, but to go into a high-speed chase, unknown model type of car.
Gods. I doubt they did it themselves. Well, I don't know.
Well, they thought they were gods because they came out of the sky. If you look back at the history, anything, the flying chariot and stuff like that.
Weren't they big people? Weren't they huge?
I think so.
Like giant
Anunnaki are the ones that can't. They need gold to breathe. That's why we all have gold fever. So they say. That's why we have gold fever, because we were made by the Anunnaki to get gold, because their atmosphere has gold in it. Yeah.
Maybe that's another reason why, the gold status came about. Or the god status, because they had to have gold.
Yeah, easily distracted. It was like I heard the name and I felt like I knew them, and I had no reason. It was before my UFO days.
Okay, so they were tall.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
What, the gold?
Yeah, the Anunnakis.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know if they were our gods.
But anything that came from back then, anything that came from the sky, they thought, because they didn't have planes, they didn't have anything that. So how the hell are these people flying in these, chariots, flying chariots?
You got to be a god.
It's got to be a god.
You're defying all laws of gravity.
Yeah. So they just wrote and made pictures of what they thought. But it's definitely, interesting. But that's the same feeling I get from the Anunnaki is the same feeling I get from the MIB. Like, I'm just like,
10 foot tall? That's perfect for a fucking nut punch.
And that's the other thing. I think because of the movement, like I'm very, I've told you guys before, like I don't like scary movies because I don't like jump scares, but anything that doesn't move right, Like I can't watch what are those people that bend every which way? Contortionists. I can't watch them because that freaks me out. Like nobody should have it move like that.
Right?
You know what I'm saying? So I get weirded out by stuff that's not normal. So
You should
like
you should see her with centipedes around.
yeah, centipedes move, they're not normal. They're just not normal. And millipedes I can deal with. Centipedes no. But no. No, Amanda. Yes, like The Exorcist did. Yes, where she comes down, the spider walks down the stairs. That is not normal.
Oh, yeah, that.
But
Ugh.
so stuff like that. So like when I look at a picture of a supposed MIB, you can tell that's not a normal human being. Like they walk rigid. They don't flow like us when we walk. Do you know what I mean?
Well, they walk like they have something stuck at their butt, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
You know, they're very like
Shit.
robotic.
yeah. I have noticed that about all the pictures and videos I've seen of Men in Black. Like,
Yeah. It's something, you just know something's not right with them.
that's why I don't think they are human. They're not fully human. They're maybe
Right.
human alien. They're not fully human, though.
Yeah, Patrick, I don't think you could ever convince Missy to go bungee jumping.
Vince McMahon. That's true. Giggle. Vince McMahon, he might be. He might be.
I would believe that.
But that's the thing. That's the reason why I don't think they don't care that they know people know that they're the Men in Black, because of the fact that they haven't changed anything. They haven't tried to fit in with us.
Yeah.
They don't care.
Hey, and you're right, Heather. Everybody's idea of what the hell did she say? Where'd it go? Wow, disappeared. Oh, everybody's idea of normal is different, and you're right.
That's true. That's true.
It went by so quick, I couldn't keep up with it.
Yeah, okay, we'll go with that, Nicole.
It was so very normal, the most normal one in Belgium. Well, at least in your house, huh?
I'm not normal at all.
I'm not normal, no. But I mean, it's just either that or, I mean, you know what? They kind of, as where I was sitting there talking about the MIBs and them being so rigid and everything, it almost makes me think like, are they maybe, well, no, they wouldn't care about UFOs. I don't know. I was thinking that maybe they were kind of like, they have the feeling of like a elemental, like that we're here to do our jobs and that's it. They're, you know what I mean? But they're not neutral. That's the only thing that stops me. They're not neutral. They're freaking intimidators.
Yeah.
They're only intimidating. The only thing that can be intimidating is if you let it be intimidating.
Yeah, but somebody that if something can make you not be able to move and not be able to talk, that ain't going to intimidate you. Let me hook up the taser.
No. Tasers are not fun.
What's that, Nubs?
Tasers aren't fun.
No, we had an idea. I don't think you were joining us at that point in time when we were talking about when I got Eddie that new chair, and it's got he can plug it into the computer and it's got to vibrate, you know, the chair will vibrate and give him a relaxing massage.
Oh, snap.
But one of us, I can't remember if it was Andy or Patrick or Nicole, came up with the idea of hooking up a taser to it. So every time he pushed the on button, it would tase him instead.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
Oh, yeah, that'd be a fucking ball. Can't wait to try that one.
I'll videotape it.
Yeah, right?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Oh, Lord. Yes, and we got the remote. That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Andy, that sounds like me. Yeah.
I think I'm going for that fucking one.
What the fart?
Exactly. No, instead of oh, what the fart, it'd be oh, what the shit.
Oh, man.
Y'all gonna have Men in Black knocking on y'all's door later.
Probably.
I'm telling you, you know.
If we don't hear from them in a few days, we know what
That's what
happened.
Yeah, that's what I said yesterday. I'm like, this might be our last show. But I really want to, like, it's one of those things where it scares me so much that I want to know everything about it. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how I work.
That's how she rolls.
That's how I roll. Anything that scares me, I want to figure it out. But I just can't, like I said, I can, when I'm doing UFO stories or whatnot, or paranormal or cryptid, I can get a feel for it, at least an idea that makes sense in my head about why it's here, where it's coming from, blah, blah, blah. But with MIB, I can't. That's true, Schizoid. Thanks for stopping in. Taking into account the size of the galaxy and the number of stars and planets out there, it's certainly out there. Yeah, intelligent life on. Yeah, you're right. It's intelligent life on Earth. It's hard to find.
I think we just need to get a spaceship and just go up in space and explore.
Right.
Eddie, save up the money for a spaceship, and we got this.
Yeah. Well, right there, Elon Musk Jr. What was it when the missile
we'll start a
silos,
GoFundMe?
when all the missile silos were shut down?
Mm-hmm. Well,
Out of nowhere, just shut down.
Yes, because people don't realize, and I've said this before on here, people don't realize that if we fuck up our Earth, we're fucking up other people's galaxies. And it's not just us that gets affected.
It's a rippling of. It's going to be a rippling effect.
So they don't want us to blow us up as much as normal people don't want to blow up.
I mean, I ain't ready to die, but if I die, I die. I mean, what are you going to do?
Right.
Kind of like to cry about it.
Andy.
Yeah, I'm sure not. Yeah, you get a nice tour of the planet without even leaving the couch.
Right?
Whoa, dude.
Is that Saturn? With pretty rings.
Right? Hide under a desk. I don't think that's going to do anything. What'd you say, Nubs?
If you're getting a nuke drop, no, hiding on the desk won't do shit.
Yeah. Nope.
And what's funny is one nuke will pretty much destroy the world. So when one shoots one, you know everybody else is hitting the fucking buttons.
Right, exactly. So Andy says, so what are they going to do to stop the sun from going boom one day? I think it'll continue on. I don't think it'll.
Yeah, I think scientists can't, there's no way to predict how much gas that thing is getting produced to keep burning.
Right.
I think it draws it
I
from
think Andy's
the
talking about the
atmosphere.
alien stuff.
What do you mean? What are the aliens going to do about the sun going boom?
Yeah.
You think they care? They come out of the fucking out of nowhere in the dark.
They don't care if there's bright light. I'm not saying, he's not saying. Holy hell.
What is it going to blow them up or what? I'm totally fucking lost on this conversation.
I know you are. Yeah, right. Just follow the government instructions. Sit in the chair with your head between your knees.
And kiss your ass goodbye.
Yep, exactly.
Oh God, yeah.
But I mean, seriously, don't talk about the sun blowing up. I just told you guys about the dream that I had after Eddie watched that stupid freaking movie.
What movie?
I don't know what it was. A friend for the end of the world.
Friend for life?
Friend for, I don't know.
It was a friend for something.
A friend. Searching for a friend for the end of the world. I don't know.
Friends to the end.
But that dream about something going into the sun and blood. Those are my nightmares. I have two sets of nightmares.
Two sets now. She wins with 4 of a kind.
No, one is anything happening to my kids. Obviously, that's a nightmare for me. Anything bad happening. I have dreams of Ryan when he was little, like climbing over a fence, and I can't get to him, and it's a big drop off. That's one of my nightmares of Ryan. Or I have dreams about planets, like coming into our system, our solar system, or coming into our atmosphere, or like the moon coming down from the sky and coming at us. I mean, it's like I have very weird freaking dreams, and it scares the hell out of me sometimes.
Jim, I don't think hiding in the bathtub under a mattress is going to help with fucking radioactive fallout.
It's worth a try. No.
It's worth a try.
Wow.
But yeah, when it comes to the MIB, they just give me those same feelings, and I don't like it at all.
Misty, that sounds like a sexual question you're asking Jim there.
Oh gosh.
Apparently, Freaky thought the same thing. But yeah, the MIB. So, all in all, are you guys scared of the MIB?
Worried, but not scared.
Yeah, worried. Cautious, but not scared.
Yeah.
Right.
Knowing what they could be capable of.
Right.
But I'm not afraid of them.
So Nubs is gonna walk to the store and look for sedans.
Yeah, I'm gonna keep an eye out for vehicles.
In the sky and on the ground.
No, Nubs will hear a car like fucking 4 blocks away and hide in the bushes, wait for it to go by. Be like, no, why did it take you 3 hours to go to the goddamn store, man?
Right? Of MIB, Nicole.
Oh God.
Not scared, but yes, cautious.
Not unless they are dentists or spiders. They could be dentists or spiders, Andy.
I don't see a nuclear war happening anytime soon.
No.
I
don't think they'll let it happen. I don't think aliens will let it happen.
They shut down the silos once.
Yep. Well, more than once.
Well, I mean, they shut them all down at the same time. All nuclear silos just went dead.
Yeah,
Why?
that's definitely aliens. Like 100% aliens doing that for real.
What previous fun? Yeah, I'm not, like I said, I'm not afraid. I'm pretty cautious, but I'm not afraid. I mean, you want to take my kids, go right the hell ahead. I can live in peace the rest of my life. No, I'm just kidding.
You better hope Danielle or Ryan are not in there. Ryan be like, fuck you. No, he wouldn't.
It'd probably be the first time you ever heard a cuss in front of his mom.
Yeah, right.
Can you imagine going to the dentist, Misty, opening your eyes to see a giant spider doing surgery in your mouth? Would give me the shits for life.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, that would.
No.
Yeah, the MIB that was at the library with that dude that was reading a book, got pissed at him. Right? So, I'm trying to find where it is here. When the professor stated that he really wasn't that interested in the subject, to begin with and was only reading a book to satisfy the suggestion of a colleague. The man became enraged. The MIB guy became enraged and angrily asked him, how could you not be interested in the most important facts of the century? Now, this guy see, that's where I get confused. Like, what
Hold on. The guy reading the book said that? Or the other guy?
MIB
Okay.
said, how could you not be interested in the most important facts of the century? But yet, he was also, he seemed satisfied that the professor was not going to dig into the world of UFOs.
Patrick, that's enough talking like that.
Do you know what I mean? So, I mean, he got pissed that
he didn't care.
He didn't care, but yet satisfied that he wasn't going to dig into it. So I'm confused about that.
He's a rookie.
That's right.
He was a rookie.
He wasn't satisfied that he wasn't going to dig into it. He was confused of why. What about it wasn't so interesting that made you wanted to to check it out?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right. Because he was only reading the book, like I said, because his colleague,
Right.
brought it up to him. So he's like, all right, I'll read it. But the guy getting pissed, how could you not be,
It's easy. Look in my eyes. I'm not interested.
Right. So to me, that was confusing, but creepy. Almost like he was like, don't you believe that we exist? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yet, okay, don't push anymore. Bipolar alien, that's what we need. Yeah.
Oh, great. That's terrifying.
Yeah, I know, right? Damn. But yeah, they do. They freak me out. I do, maybe he's being sarcastic. Yeah, maybe. Hey, Spitfire.
Hey, Spitfire. Their HQ could be at Area 51 or Area 52.
Well, there is yes, Area 51, obviously. We know about that, but Area 52 is Dulcie. There's areas up to, I can imagine how many areas there are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I wonder where that's a good question, Jim. Like, are they up in a spaceship or, because they don't have, like, when we go to different countries, we adapt to, you know what I mean? Their ways, right?
Yeah.
Like, and these guys aren't adapting to shit. I don't think the MIBs are afraid of us, though, Patrick. I don't think the MIBs are afraid of anything.
If anybody's afraid, it's the government of us finding out.
Yes, Andy. That's why I brought up the whole government funding thing for Eddie, because that's what happened with Craig over on the Canary Islands in Australia. Because he was funded by the government, and then the government all of a sudden didn't want any involvement on it and locked down the islands after they found what they found.
So that's why we need to get spaceship so we can go out there and look for space aliens ourselves.
I know, right? That could be too. Maybe he's using reverse psychology. Could be. All good points.
Well, this was fun, but I'm going to walk to the store. I will keep this playing while I'm walking though.
Well, we're probably going to be ending, but in a little bit. But yes.
Right.
Yeah, seeing so it's 13 minutes to noon.
But be careful.
Oh, yeah. I'm doing the Loch Ness Monster tonight at 7:30.
Awesome.
I'll send you.
I will definitely, send the link.
All right. Well, Eddie,
Don't tell any of these people in there, though, because they don't believe in the Loch Ness Monster.
Yeah.
I don't. So.
But I will see y'all later.
All right,
Nubs. Peace, brother.
Peace.
And Nubs just vanished.
Nubs vanished.
The Men in Black got him.
They got him, guys.
What's up, Spitfire?
Oh, very cool, Spitfire.
Oh, you better send invites. I gotta check it out. Well, what time are you doing it? I gotta start the math conversions now.
Oh, excuse me. That was not very nice.
He is the guy who wouldn't he find it interesting, Andy. Wow, what? 5 p.m. Central. So there's Central, that's 3 o'clock our time, man.
I'm not sure.
Give me a damn state you in.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that sad? We don't know by the time zones. We just know by states.
Absolutely, Misty Cats. Loved and appreciated.
Of course. We love our Misty Cat.
If you give my ex, you would believe in anything. If I met your ex. No, Arkansas, yeah, they're, so 5 p.m. would be 3 p.m. our time.
Okie dokie. What? Oh,
Spitfire, you already got a YouTube channel?
Obviously, it's under a Spitfire Dragon.
Maybe he hasn't started it yet. He's going to get ready to do it. That's kind of what I did when I did mine, was like the day before our.
That's true. That's true.
Because what's the name? It doesn't necessarily mean it's Spitfire either. I can come up under Eddie and my show is called Chaos. You know what I mean?
No. Okay.
No, like, I mean your feed.
Oh. And you come up just Chaos.
I know, but I can change it and come up as Eddie. But then my channel is Chaos. That's what I mean. You can manipulate your name.
Okay. I don't know. I didn't try. I've never tried.
Okay, watch. What does it say above my thing there? Eddie.
I don't see any Eddie.
Okay, so it is Spitfire Dragon on mine right here where it says on air. I see the little camera picture of me, and above it says Eddie.
That doesn't change your YouTube, though.
I'm not saying change your damn YouTube name. Oh, shut up. Please. Please. Fuck, if you have any decency, any heart at all.
Wow.
Thank you, Andy, for doing that. Andy already knew where I was fucking going with the goddamn conversation.
I thought, Misty Cat, I didn't know you were ill at that time. Otherwise, I would, would have wondered where you were. I just thought maybe you didn't like us anymore. No, seriously, that's what I when I don't see people come around for a while, I'm like, okay.
Take it. I think I'm gonna eat that damn thing right now.
What?
My
what?
Super 7.
Oh.
Well, you know what, Jim? Please. I just subbed.
Thank you for the ice cream.
I just subbed Spitfire.
Okay, cool.
So that way, Spitfire, when you go and get ready to go live, I should get notified.
Oh, I can turn these back up now. Thank you, Patrick, for the lemons. And I don't know who gave me the... Oh, thank you, Patrick, for the ice cream.
Idiot, be careful how you say things. He might take you in ways you won't like. Whoa, but yeah. Good luck with that one. What happened now, Eddie? Eddie was misunderstood again. Oh, that's what happened.
Never.
It's okay. I just outed myself, explaining to the whole chat about how I'm fighting an eating disorder. How is that outing yourself? That just,
We all have different
every single
problems.
one of us has a struggle in our life.
That's right. Exactly.
All right, my lasagna just beeped.
Oh my God, his lasagna just beeped, guys.
Yes, it did. So I can.
Yeah, exactly. That's how he eats. Because, you know, things that come out of the microwave are not hot.
Now, when they've been in there 14 minutes, fuck, it's almost froze.
Oh, Lord. I swear, this is why I say I have 4 kids.
At least you didn't say foreskin.
Oh, what the
Shut up. That's your channel. Yeah, I know. What the fuck? Oh, I mean, it says what the fart. But that too. All right, guys. Holy hell! I'm all discombobulated now. Let me put the credits up. Hopefully they're running. Maybe.
Well, they're going to scroll.
Really? They're not going to run. I just...
She broke it again.
Lordy B. Hold on. I lied. We're not doing credits yet. So talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, because she don't want to talk to you no more before she breaks you.
Gotta give the boy points.
I'm trying to give everybody points. Trying. Okay. Let's see. What is going on?
Thank you, Heather. They're invisible.
There they are. They're not invisible.
All right. Ladies, hugs. Guys, fist bumps. Stay safe. Stay strong. We're going to get through this. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
All right, guys. I'm pressing the chest now. So if you're over on dlive, I know. If you're over on dlive, you got 30 seconds. If the chest doesn't come up on screen for you, please. 20 seconds.
Heather, you and everybody in the room definitely rock.
Yes, you all rock very much. I thank each and every one of you for hanging out with us for today and every day. Of course, tomorrow is no, it's not. What's tomorrow? Thinking Outside the Box, Thursday. We'll be talking about candle magic. The box has opened. The chest has opened. All right. Heather got 79.6. Patrick got 46.1. Nicole got 33.6. Freaky Geek got 26.9. And Maybe Q Chris got 22.7. All right, guys. With that being said, we love each and every one of you. Never forget that. You guys are the best. You really are. So we'll see again tomorrow. Take care. Be safe. And I'm trying to do this. What the hell? I pressed cam.
There you are.
There we are. Take care. Be safe. And remember, find something today that makes you smile with your eyes. We love you guys. Mwah.